Hey, it's Ariel, and I am excited. I got a haircut on Sunday. It is now Thursday, and I got it shorter on one side and longer on the other. I've kind of often done an A-line, so this was kind of something different and fun. And then Amber helped dye it on yesterday, so I've been really stoked because I've been trying to get a haircut since March, and so one of the things that I wanted to talk about is that, how things have changed with the pandemic. So being homebound, when I say that, I mean basically that I don't have the energy to really do anything and to go anywhere. So I only do that when I really have to, which basically ends up being going to the doctor pretty much. Or getting a haircut or something, like things that don't happen at home usually, right? And or getting my blood drawn. So all three of those things I have tried to have done at home because I really needed them at home. Um, 2 years ago, 2 summers ago, I stopped driving. I started using my wheelchair full time inside and outside the house, and basically just had to do a lot less and really try to not overdo it because I'll just get worse, basically. And I already was I'm kind of as bad as I'm willing to get, I would say. Um, with the ME, there's certain, when I get sicker than this, it's really miserable lying in the dark, it's just really horrible. Alone in the dark with no sound. It's just horrible. Um, so I have, tried to get a haircut at home. I had asked people, there's a Great Clips like down the street, a couple, like 4 minutes or something. And I had asked people, and I hadn't been able to find anyone who wanted to do an in-home haircut. And then in March, I asked again, and somebody said yes. So then I did ask her recently, and she wasn't able to, but then I asked on Nextdoor, and somebody was posting on Nextdoor that they were doing at-home haircuts. So I was able to get an at-home haircut, which was really cool. And now I'm also able to get telehealth. Well, before I tried to, but Medicare would not pay for video visits, no matter how sick you are. And so that was really horrible because I would end up spending my one little bit of energy a week that I could go somewhere to go to the doctor for a couple of years. And, I would like to spend it doing something else if I don't really need to go, like if you needed to go get an exam or do something like that, that's different. But if you're just talking to your doctor about your chronic illnesses and going over stuff that really you don't have to be there for, it really was crappy to have to go every time. And when you have a lot of illnesses and a lot of doctors, it's a lot of time and energy. And I don't have much of that. And so it was really sad not being able to do that. And then suddenly when the pandemic started, it's like, poof, I can have as many of my visits online as I want. And also I needed to get my blood drawn, and that's one of the other things that has been something I couldn't do at home. So I'd asked my primary care last year, I'd asked her network's home health, which I was doing PT with them, and they wouldn't help me figure anything out. She said she couldn't do it. I asked both labs around here, the companies, I called them and tried to figure out, a way for them to get a phlebotomist out or who did it. And my doctor's office wouldn't help me. And then I called Medicaid, and I really tried. Me and my caregiver last year spent a month trying to make it happen, and it wouldn't happen. And then 2 weeks ago, I called my doctor's, or I was on a telehealth visit with my doctor, and I was like, yes, so I need to get that blood work done, and it's going to be 2 weeks in a row, and so I would really like to do it at home if that's possible. I wasn't able to get that in the past, but can we do that? And she's like, sure, we do that all the time. And I was just like, what? Meaning even before this, but also especially now. And so, I'm really grateful that those three things, which are things that I really needed to get at home, I can now do at home. I just think it's really important that people realize that before the pandemic, there were many of us in the disability community who really needed these services at home. And like I said, they were not covered, they were not made available, or like just nobody did it. And then now they are. And I think a lot of us, including myself, are worried that it'll stop after the pandemic calms down, which hopefully it will. But that many of the services that we are so, needed and then now have might go away. And I really hope that doesn't happen. But I do think it's important because it just felt very sad to be like, it didn't feel like we were very important, that they just never did it for us, no matter how badly we needed it. So it's just a thing to realize, and hopefully an awareness to keep, that we really need to keep these at-home services going.